God.
Hey Miles, how you doing?
Good, brother. How you doing, man?
Good. Well, I think this guy was familiar behind me.
What an ugly fucking dude you got there.
Well, I gotta tell you, I watched Frontier Crucible. I found it like very slow burny, but then it really
Yeah.
picks up in the second half of the film.
Yeah.
And not to spoil it, but it came up with an ending even I wasn't expecting. And I gotta say, you did such a great job at driving this film, hands
Oh,
down.
thank you, man. I appreciate that so much.
So my first question is, what attracted you to take on the role of Merrick in this movie?
I think what attracted me to him was that he was unlike most human beings in the world. He sticks to this moral code throughout the whole film. He's unflappable. He, no matter what kind of temptation comes his way, what threat comes his way, he's on a mission to do a good thing. He knows what's right and what's true, and he sticks to that moral code no matter what. And, I don't think most humans are like that. Most people are flappable. Most people bend to temptation and to threats, and he just won't do it. And I thought that was a really unique thing about him.
Yeah, I found like as the film went on, like he was, you had the woman and her husband, and then you had
Yeah,
the three outlaws who,
yeah,
it's like you keep questioning, do I trust these guys or do I not trust these guys? What do I do? But
yeah,
that moral, and sometimes, as you mentioned, the moral compass gets questioned. But
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah,
I think your character is probably one of the purest characters in a film completely,
for sure. Yeah,
because
yeah.
you
And he's
don't.
also got, the Apaches are trying to kill him. He's going through this territory that, most, white settlers at the time would have died going through. And he's just like, no, I gotta bring this medicine to these people. They're dying. And yeah, I think that's a really brave and honorable thing to do.
So, what was it like working with the other cast, especially the group that you're surrounded with? What
Yeah.
was it like working with those guys?
It was amazing, and we have these movie stars on set, all the way down to people who've never worked before, like Mary, who was brilliant. But what was really cool is we were out in the wilderness in the freezing cold desert, and it was kind of this equalizing factor. There was no trailers, no nothing. We were all just out there sitting around a campfire in the morning, sitting around a campfire at night, shooting the shit in between takes. And it was kind of a brilliant thing to be around these really experienced, really talented actors, but at the end of the day, we're just out there sitting around a campfire, having a cup of coffee at midnight, you know. And that's kind of what made it really special working with these actors, actually. Because usually, on movie sets, especially ones with bigger actors like, someone like Tom Shane or William H. Macy, people would go off to their trailers, people would get on their phones. But we had no service, thank God. And we had no trailers because we were in the middle of these boulder mountains. And you just had William H. Macy out there playing a banjo and Tom's chain smoking a pipe, and we were all just sitting around a campfire. It was really cool, cool experience.
I think that's cool because you rarely get to hear those type of stories, as you mentioned, But thankfully, when it comes to indie cinema, especially, I've heard some great stories, like with the cast, like who have never worked together,
Yeah,
and when they're not shooting, they do stuff together to try to bring that bond together on screen,
yeah,
and it could result, a lot of times like, all right, well, we're just gonna do our own thing afterwards, not that. In the
yeah,
case of some, like, well, we still keep in touch to this day. We shot like this movie years ago, but we had bonded, and now we're just like good buddies. Is that the case
yeah,
in this?
yeah, yeah, totally, 100%. We really bonded, quite a bit on that set. And again, because you're in the middle of the desert, you ain't got nothing to do but hang out at the saloons after. And on set, you just sit around the fire, telling stories. I had so many great stories told me by Tom's Jane, and it was a really special experience because of that. And I think that's what draws me to Westerns in general as a director and a writer too, because it's basically like bringing everyone together for camp, for summer camp. And I think that's kind of a rare experience nowadays in film.
As a lead role, what would you say was probably, if you had to pick like a scene that was really difficult for you to go through in terms of, because of perhaps the weather or something going on, is there a scene that you can describe, like what was the most harrowing for you making this movie?
Hmm. I think the most harrowing scene was actually, and there we had a few scenes, where I'm driving a carriage around with these crazy horses that did not want to stop. They're trying to drive me off a cliff. But I think actually the most harrowing experience was we're all sitting around a campfire in, the third quarter of the film where finally these secrets are revealed and people's guards get let down, and it's kind of this climax scene before all hell breaks loose. And I think it was like -10 degrees out. It was freezing, and we were out there for hours shooting this scene around this campfire. And it was hard because we were all kind of finally releasing all this baggage our characters had been kind of keeping beneath the surface.
Yeah.
And it was pairing with this freezing cold night, which I think kind of lent to the authenticity of the scene. But yeah, it was a hard night. It was a long, hard night.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah,
Wow. That's amazing.
yeah,
And then, of course, we talk about, the climax. And then, of course, when all hell breaks loose, I thought it was going to go one way and then goes completely in left field. But I
yeah,
will say that ending was it really like made the film what it was because
yeah.
ultimately lived up to the name of the film. And I'm really glad that,
Totally.
once again, you drove it. Like you were hands on,
Thank you. I
phenomenal.
appreciate that so much. It was really fun to do. So I'm glad you liked it.
So, would you do another Western after this?
Oh yeah, I love westerns, and I have a production company called Fireside Film that we strive to make Americana Western stories, and I've got a Western coming out called Timberlands with Academy Award winner Wes Studi coming out, famous Native American actor, and I just love Westerns, man. I just grew up watching them, grew up riding horses, grew up in the West, so if I can keep making them till I die, that's the one thing I'd love to do.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I got a friend who's a director. He directs like a lot of westerns. Joe Cornette, he does a lot of these indie western flicks, and that's
Yeah,
and he tells me how much fun he has making those as well. So
dude, they're
hopefully,
so fun.
you never know, you two can end up collaborating on a western together, and I would all take my money for it.
Yeah, man, let me know. Link us up. Let's do it. Any chance I can do to make a Western, I'm there for it. So,
That's awesome. So aside from westerns, are there any other projects that you can talk about that you're working on at the moment, or is this the next one?
well, I have a big series coming out that I star in called The Pendragon Cycle, and it's based on a young adult novel called The Pendragon Cycle, and it's a 7-part series coming out January 22nd. So
Okay.
people should be on the lookout for that. And I'm directing a Western that's coming out in February called Timberlands with
Awesome.
Wes Studi and Irene Bedard. So I guess look out for that.
Yep, definitely. Well, everyone, Frontier Crucible is coming out December 5th. Definitely check this movie out especially if you love
Yes.
westerns. Miles here drives the film. I mean, despite the ensemble cast, this guy's the driving force behind it. And Miles, man, thank you so much for taking the time to talk about it.
Thank you so much, brother. I really appreciate you, man.
All right, you take care and you stay awesome.
You take care, man. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, bye.
Bye.